you're starting to see stuff in the Times, which I'm not so sure you can make a blanket statement like this. There is a broad sense that the economy is not doing as well as it was. And I really just think it's more like COVID anxiety, which is not to say that the economy was doing well enough before, but there's just a broad sense of malaise. And the problem is that it starts to cut against you, like in places like Virginia. And it starts to cut against you in like, if the Democrats had won in Virginia, the biggest, I think, outcome of that is it sort of changes the politics of the Build Back Better bill. People are nervous, but play this clip. Let's play at least part of this. This is by Evan McMorris Santoro. It's apparently not a bad reporter, but he really got very defensive about this because I think he got played.
You spoke with one couple about how this new economic reality is affecting how they feed their kids. What did they tell you?
Well, Brianna, that's right. The important thing about this inflation right now is, there's a lot of reasons why it's happening, but the important thing is where it's actually hitting. And it's hitting things like the cost of shelter, the cost of gasoline, like where I am at this gas station behind me. Gas is up more than $1 since last year. And here in Manhattan, obviously up more than that.
Pause it for 1 second. Pause it for 1 second. Now, just right there, I would be shocked. Now, and gas has gone up faster than we want it to, obviously. It's been higher. I remember when it was higher. But a year ago, there was very little, we were still less travel because of the pandemic was raging.
They were literally remarking on how there were noticeable differences in the way that our planet was responding, like things were healing because people were driving and traveling so much less.
Yes. So
that's
of course,
how significant it was.
Of course, gas is going to be up. It's really just a question of like how much.
Yeah.
Now, does that make a difference to you if you've got to drive and fill up your gas tank? Probably not. But it makes a difference when you're talking about contextualizing the news, and particularly when you're only doing like one. We're trying to tell this story of inflation by talking to one family. Continue.
Gas is up more than $1 since last year, and here in Manhattan, obviously up more than that, but up more than 20 cents from even last month. And the other thing that inflation is affecting right now is food prices. These are things that you have to buy. So I went to Kennedale, Texas, to go shopping with a family to talk about what this actually means to live in America right now.
We're extrapolating.
All right, let's go tackle this.
Family.
What does inflation mean for American families? This is the story of the Stotlers' weekly shop.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
We have 2 biological kids, and then my wife and I have a big heart for adoption, so we adopted a sibling group of 2, then 3, then 1, and then we have a kid living with us right now who's kind of in a foster situation.
It feels like money isn't going as far as it used to.
Okay, let's see what we can do. I think probably in June, it was about $1 was worth $1. So now that dollar is worth about 70 cents. All right, now we're moving on to dairy, which is right there. We started seeing everything going up. Grocery prices went up. Gallon of milk was $1.99. Now it's $2.79. Well, when you buy 12 gallons a week, times 4 weeks, that's a lot of money. That's what I'm talking about.
Pause it for 1 second. Pause it for 1 second. All right. So she's saying there's a 30% increase in the cost of food across the board. That's what it means. Like $1 was worth $1 and now it's worth 70 cents. Now, that's simply not the case. She's sort of maybe just eyeballing.
She said milk was $1.99 and a gallon. In 1995, which is the last date I have here, it was $2.48.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Now, that just seems weird that she would just make up that number. But, and that she's paying, according to her, 80 cents more times 12 gallons. It's a lot of milk. It's a lot of milk. Times 4. So that's $9.60. It's a little bit less because I think it was, well, let's call it 80 cents. $9.60 per week extra on the 12 gallons of milk times 4 is $38, $39 a month. That's not nothing. However, up until September, and you will get more in April when you get your taxes. They are getting, what'd they say, 9 kids? Mm-hmm. $2,700 extra a month from the government. $2,700 extra a month from the government. $36 more for milk. $2,700 a month extra from the government. Now, I happen to think that they should be getting this permanently to help with the kids. But it's very hard to make an argument about how inflation is impacting this family during this time, over the course of the past year, when, of course, these payments started in July, right? How do you not calculate that in? How do you not even say this is offset? Now, all right, $36 more for milk, and maybe their chicken expenses is, I don't know, $100 a month more for chicken. And maybe their groceries on average are $500 more. You're getting $2,700 a month. And if they're not, let's find out about why is that? I mean, this is just sort of bizarre.
Well, I understand this guy's done some good reporting in the past, but like, it sounds like his assignment editor said, let's talk about how Main Street's getting affected by inflation. Because we're all worried about it, but let's see how Main Street's dealing with it. And then you just work backward from it. Yeah.
A better way to do this would go to any like Target or Walmart and then talk to the people who are kicked out of there for trying to steal milk or eggs or something because all of a sudden they can't afford it. You can actually get a real impression that way, because if you know people that work at places like that, they deal with that all the time.
Yep.
And you can actually see how it's really hitting people at Main Street or whatever whatever it is. But that is something that you'll never see on CNN.
It's just a very strange piece.
Just a very particular family to pick.
Well, and like I say, you tell the whole story about that family. How are they doing in this era?
Yeah.
Inflation's having virtually no impact on them because they've gotten an extra $2,700 a month. That's pretty impressive stuff.